Welcome to our What's Working call tonight. And thank you guys truly for hopping on. I know it is a holiday and you might have families around and whatnot. We like to keep these calls just 30 minutes. And so Mallory is our host for tonight. But before she kicks it off, I wanted to tell you guys two things. One, I don't know if you've seen, but all of the Summit clothing from last year is hugely on sale. Like super cute sweatpants that were $65 or $17. I got a t-shirt that was 40 something for $8. So if you need any cute swag, it doesn't count towards volume or anything, but all of it's on sale, super cheap. That will be really good for wear and share, just to wear out. And then also, it's the 27th, and Success Club still needs to be a priority. If you're already at Success Club, then I would focus on inviting and following up so that you kick it off early in June. If you're not at Success Club, I'd focus on following up like it's your freaking job all week, because then you can lock it in by, what is it, Friday is the last day of the month? And you have until Friday at 11:50 is my cutoff time. So keep hustling and grinding. You can do a lot in, 4 to 5 days if you're focusing on the right activities. And tonight we're going to give you a whole bunch of ideas on how to do all of the things. So Mallory, you can kick it off with some tips that have been working well for you this month, because she's at Success Club 8, is a solid diamond, building her husband Ben also to diamond. So she is doing a lot of things right and a lot of things that are working well for her this month and up until now too.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So I have 4 separate suggestions or tips, whatever you want to call them, for what's been working for me this month. And like Sam said, I'm at Success Club 8. That's definitely not my goal. I had much bigger goals than that this month. My goal is always at least Success Club 10, so I can get the paid leads, which is my first tip, actually. 2 of my points this month, actually 4 of my points this month came from leads. So that means I hit Success Club 10 and I had these paid leads come to me. The first girl had ordered, I don't know if it was just a BOD membership a few months back. I tried to connect. We didn't connect. I sent that email out, but she didn't get back to me. But I, kept in contact with her. And she ended up ordering a Ultimate Portion Fix Challenge pack, I believe. So had I not hit Success Club 10, I would have never got that initial lead from her, which would have never resulted in those 2 Success Club points. So leads are so huge. So hitting Success Club 10 so you can get those paid leads, and even Success Club 6 really, so you can get the customer leads, is a huge deal. My second tip to you is referrals. So I have one client of mine who is doing To Be Mindset. She and I was actually really, really nervous to work with her, because she's actually my sister's nail lady. And if she likes something, this is from my sister, if she likes something, she will share the heck out of it. If she doesn't like something, she will also share the heck out of it. So I was super nervous to start working with her, but with To Be Mindset, she is down 20 pounds and has finally a control over food. She messaged me last weekend saying that she finally had her first weight loss weekend. And so while I congratulated her, I said, what do you think made the difference? Why was this weekend a weight loss weekend versus last one? She said, I didn't go out to eat this weekend. We always go out to eat once. We didn't do that this weekend. So just making her experience valuable, she started to share it with others, and her neighbor wanted to get on board. So another person that got set up this month was her neighbor with the To Be Mindset Challenge Pack. So because she had such a good experience herself, she started sharing it with others, which that trickle effect. And I hope that continues. My third suggestion, tip, whatever, is I've been having a lot of success with the Ultimate Portion Fix. I know it's completely separate from 2B Mindset, but there are people that 2B Mindset works for, and there are people that Ultimate Portion Fix works for. And you just have to get to know the type of person you're talking to and which program would work best for them. So what I'm finding too is like, so I've been doing the containers for whenever I signed up with Sam, like 4 years ago, but I still did Ultimate Portion Fix and I still learned a ton from it. So I have been promoting that even within my current clients, not just new clients, but the people that I've worked with already who may have fallen off the wagon and need a fresh start, who maybe didn't understand the container system completely the first time before. And just to go off a little bit on that, when I think about the like getting started right calls that I've done in the past, you know, we help our clients find the bracket that they're in based on their weight, and then we tell them, okay, you should be eating this amount of this amount of this, and so on. But that's all we could give them. So we didn't give them a ton of value, really, in my opinion. We just told them this is what you should do with no backbone to it, really. Like, this is just what you should do. Go ahead and follow that. Let me know how it works out. So for people who maybe didn't feel well supported with that, I have found that introducing them to the Ultimate Portion Fix and kind of getting a restart, if you will, with the containers has been helpful. The videos are super helpful, I think. I've learned a ton from them. Even the basic information that I knew from the start, I was able to build off of. And I personally look more at my labels now and sugar levels and protein to carbs and all that stuff, which I didn't do before. I just followed what we knew. So the Ultimate Portion Fix has been a game changer for me, going through the clients that I've already worked with too. Because if you package that with another month of shakes, there's a challenge pack enrollment. So leads, referrals, Ultimate Portion Fix. And another thing that I've been doing each month is going into my online office and looking at the customer subscriptions or the subscription orders and pulling the arrow down for the BOD subscriptions and seeing who is about to renew their annual BOD subscription for $99. Okay, so I just did that today, and I have about 2 or 3 people who their subscription renews on the 2nd. Okay, so I'm going to reach out to them and suggest that they get a challenge pack for BOD with Shaco for $160 versus just another year of BOD for $99. Okay, it saves them money. They're not going to have to pay, especially for your current coaches. It might not get you Success Club points, although I think I've heard sometimes it does work for Success Club points for some people. I don't know if it's consistent. It might not get you the points, but it saves your coaches money, which, you know, we're all about helping each other, and I think helping save money should be a big thing. And it will help your volume too. So I'm going to reach out to those people and suggest they get a BOD and Shaco challenge pack versus just their $99 renewal, and it'll save them about $40. And then if they want to add anything else on, of course, too. So leads, referrals, Ultimate Portion Fix, and your BOD renewals, and that could go for your performance line too. I don't know if everyone knows this because I just learned it last month. Performance line, Recover and Energize on Home Direct is also 2 Success Club points. I don't think a ton of people realize that. And it was a pleasant surprise to me last month when I signed someone up and with those two things, and it was 2 Success Club points. You always think BOD and Shakeco or just Shakeco. So Recover and Energize on Home Direct is also 2 Success Club points. So that's perfect for people who might already have their own workout routine at the gym, or who into CrossFit or marathons, or whatever kind of workouts they do. That might be something for them. The last tip, it's, you hear it all the time, but consistency and showing up. I have had 2 people join me this month. One under my mom. She was a friend from high school. I've reached out to her probably 6, 7 times, and she's told me no each time, and I said it's okay, but she kept liking my stuff, so I would still reach out to her. And then I noticed when the past month or 2, she was liking more and more of my stuff, and she was tuning in my stories. So I struck up another conversation with her, and we started chatting, and she was going to the gym, was paying for a personal trainer. She has 2 young kids, and she flat out said, she's like, I watch your stories each morning. I see you work out at home, and I'm thinking, why am I not doing this? Why am I making it more difficult for myself, getting in a car at 5:30 a.m. when it's 30 degrees out, going to the gym, paying for a trainer, when I'm watching you doing this from your spare bedroom? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah. So she jumped on board this month with Ultimate Portion Fix and BOD, and she's 2 weeks in, she's down 5 pounds and loving the shakes and loving the workouts and the flexibility from doing it from home. So just that consistency of sharing, and if people, like everyone has told us before, if people are liking your posts, are liking it for a reason, so to keep reaching out to them. Another one too, a girl from college, those people that you're nervous to reach out to. She had just had a baby like a month and a half ago, and I'm like, this might be too soon. But before she got pregnant, she wanted to join me. So I reached out, leading with the Ultimate Portion Fix, because it was nutrition based. So if she wasn't cleared to work out yet, that was okay, because we were just focusing on nutrition. And she was all about it. She was ready to get started. She'd had a rough pregnancy. This is from her. I'm not saying she had a rough pregnancy. She said she had a rough pregnancy, and she was ready to jump back in and get back to herself. So just being brave enough almost to reach out to people and just make sure you're doing it in a way that you would like to be approached as well. I think that's one of the biggest things I've learned on Instagram, is you receive those messages that make you say ew. So to make sure you're not sending the same type of ew messages to people. That might be one of my biggest tips. Because how many times do you get a message and you're like, you really just copy and pasted that to me, didn't you? I'm not going to respond to that. Like, you're saying, hey girl, you look, all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't buy a bit of that. So I also don't want to be that person who is sending those messages. One other thing, last thing, from the National Wake Up Call, I think last week it was, I know we have been taught to handle objections so like hardcore, that I think a lot of times we forget we're talking to a person, and we like talk to the objection almost. Like we don't even realize what they're saying. All we see is, I don't have time. So we think, well, let me talk about how quick and effective these workouts are. And they're only 30 minutes and blah, blah, blah. But yet we're not seeing the 2 lines ahead of it that said all they have going on in life. And if we just took a step back and talked to them about those first two things that they said and built more of a relationship with them, they would trust us more and then want to get involved with us the following month. You know, a lot of people say, check in with me, you know, next month or the next time you have a group. I would, you know, be interested. And I think for me, I need to start realizing that that's okay and just put them on the follow-up list the next month. Because if you just go for the objection and try to beat it, you might just scare them off and not build that trust. And to me, it's not worth it to really just get those 2 Success Club points versus having someone that really trusts you and wants to work with you. If that makes sense to you guys. I probably said that in like 2 sentences, but I said it in like 20. So.
No, I love that. So I wrote down all your tips, and after each one, I was going to be like, this is the one I'm going to highlight. And then, no, this is going to be the one I'm going to highlight. I mean, all of them are so good, but that last one I love. Like, you don't hear that too often. That, you know, like, if it's time, say this, you know, overcome the objection in this way. But it's so true. And in fact, I even did that, like, 2 weeks ago. I invited someone. How did it happen? So I sent the intro message, and then she said she was doing something. I said, cool, are you following a routine or doing your own thing? And she was saying how she's doing her own thing. Like, she's found a really good routine for her. And then at the end, she said something about how she doesn't have a lot of time. And I completely skipped over the fact that she had a good routine and she's doing Whole30. Like, I should have invited her to coaching, and I just like saw the time and I was like, oh, well, you should try out my workouts and blah, blah. And then she obviously said no. So I went back and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even read her message. I just saw time and like immediately said, you know, the 20 to 30 minute thing. So I love that. Another thing too, love that you reach out. I mean, this is going to sound really bad, but I love that you reach out to your clients and then share like something else that they need, because that's definitely a personal thing that I don't do very often. Like, once they sign up, I just hope that they interact in my challenge group. And if they don't, it's on them. And I like reach out every now and then when I remember to. So I like that you reach back out and offer new stuff. And Ultimate Portion Fix is so true. Like, I'm a 2B mindset girl all the way, but so many people need that structure and would benefit from that program.
And I think there's a lot of great things about each program. You know, I did 2B mindset for a while, and then I just felt like the way my body is, I needed to switch things up. So I went back to the Ultimate Portion Fix, because for me, I feel like when my body gets used to one thing, it kind of plateaus. So I like to switch it up. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of pieces from each that you can still mesh together, I think, to be successful with them. So, but those are my things that's going to be working for me this month. Does anyone else have anything that they want to share? I would love some more ideas, because I'm not at my goals yet either.
I'm not at my goals yet either. But I was looking back while you were chatting, Mallory, looking at the customers that I have signed up, and I've signed up 7 coaches. Mostly discount coaches this month, but a couple that are working the business. I was going through each one, and I counted, let's see, 1, 2, 3 or 4 of them were people that have used BOD in the past and weren't working with their coach anymore. And I just switched them over to me. Obviously, I asked them if they wanted to, you know, and didn't want to step on any toes. But once they said they wanted to join my group, I switched them to me for free. Like, I didn't make them buy anything. Literally, I submitted the form for them, the coach change form. And it's not an immediate gratification. This won't help you hit Success Club this month. But 3 of them are now working coaches, like ready to work the business. And I think it's because I've built trust with not trying to like just get a sale from them, meeting with them where they're at. Like, they already have BOD. Most of them already have a stockpile of Shakeology. So just getting them in the group and loving the group. And then they keep seeing my posts about coaching, and they actually want to work the business, or at least upgrade to a challenge pack. So my tip would be to be open to helping people that don't buy anything from you, as long as make sure that they are matched as your customer and that you are their coach, but just being there for them and still adding them into your group. And the other one, same thing as Mallory said with consistency, because the other, 4? If 3 of them were the free people that I signed up, the others I've been chatting with, literally one of them is from the UK, and I started chatting with her when we launched in the UK, which was like a year and a half ago. So we've been talking that long and just going back and forth, invite, connect, follow up, invite, connect, follow up. So just consistency with the actions, but also showing up on your own journey. Like when you're not showing up, then they are going to watch somebody else who is.
I think that's one of the tips I took from the group we were in with the 6 top coaches, how Haley Christian said that she hosts one-on-one calls only if they show up every single day on social media. If they don't show up one day, then she cancels the call with them. Mm-hmm. And that just made me realize like how important just something like valuable, not just because when I first started, I was a queen of just like throwing something on just to say I posted for the day, but something that has content and is valuable to your followers. And if you look at her posts, like they're nothing like crazy. They're not like super long and detailed, but she always is highlighting coaching. So, and I think that's difficult for some of us because we're so focused on Success Club. So we think about challengers. But we also have to realize, and I'm saying we, like myself too, that coach signups are also Success Club points. You know, whether you get a challenger or a coach, it's still 2 points. So why wouldn't you advertise coach, so you can grow your team as well? And as I'm saying this, I'm like, this is good advice. You should take your own advice because you don't do enough coach invites, or coach posts. So
that's funny.
One other thing I had that has been working for me, because one thing that I want to do, you know, just because I love it myself and for volume purposes, is to keep people on Shakeology each month. One of the prizes I'm doing in my challenge group is a $10 Shako rebate. So instead of the like little trinkets from Target dollar section or hair ties or, you know, hair bands or beach bars or whatever, that when I ship, they end up costing me like $4 to ship anyways, plus the cost of the product. They have a choice that they can choose a $10 rebate on their next Shako order. So all I do is PayPal or Venmo them $10 if that's the one they choose. Doesn't cost me any shipping. I don't have to go to the post office. It allows them to get another month of Shako, $10 off. And I'm getting the volume points from it as well. So I've found that to work for me, and they seem to like that. They seem to be choosing that one. So just something else.
Did you offer that to everybody, or do you like pick a person for that?
Nope. When I do a contest or something, gotcha. That will be one of the prizes they can choose from. And some people don't choose it. Some people want to try the beach bar. Some people want to try Energize, and that's fine. But I do throw that in there. And the last time I had 4 people that I had to send stuff to, and 2 of them chose the Shako rebate. So
nice. I did want to ask you a question before we hop off the call, because Mallory, for those of you that don't know, is a full-time teacher and has literally one of the most chaotic lives right now. So Mallory, how and when do you squeeze in the time to work? And like maybe what do you focus on in that time?
Honestly, this is like my peaceful place right now. I wake up at like 4:30, and right now it's a little bit different because I'm doing 80-day obsession. Before I would wake up, I do about an hour of work. I would do my half-hour workout and then get ready to go to work. But right now I'm doing an 8-a-day obsession, and with the time nutrition, I have to work out at night because if I eat first thing at 5 in the morning, I can't be done eating at 5 o'clock at night. It just doesn't work for me. So now I wake up and I do most of my tasks in the morning using the business activity tracker. And then I do about, it depends on the night, about an hour a night. I feel like I'm one of those people too that's kind of like always doing things throughout the day, but needs to get a little more strict with the times. But I'm always working off that business activity tracker because it gives me a guide of what to do. Before I started using that, I mean, Sam knows, my husband and I would get in fights all the time because I was working, but I wasn't doing a damn thing because I was just scrolling and I wasn't checking off things on that list. So now I have that list, I check off the boxes, and I know I've put in what I need to for the day. On that, I think it says 5 invites. I try to do at least 10 a day. If I have more time, I do more than that. There's some days I don't do any. There's some days I get home and I literally just need to sit on the couch and not do anything because it's just been one of those days, and we all have them. And then I put a little bit more time in on the weekends. I try to work every day. Sometimes it doesn't work like that. Like I'm not a set, I'm going to work 6 to 8 p.m. That's just not how life is right now. But that list does give me an idea of what I need to get done, and it's a good reflection piece at the end of the week of what I actually did. Like, I'll be quite honest with you, last week was my worst week in the history of my 4 years of coaching. Like, I woke up and I scrolled back and I said, okay, when did and for me it was income based, sorry, that drives me. And I look back, when did I make this least amount of money? And I had to keep going until my very first week of coaching. Okay. So that I'm sharing that because then I looked at that thing. I'm like, okay, what didn't I do this week? I didn't spend enough time inviting. That 4 days is blank. So it's a good reflection piece to know. And then the following week I wrote, do this religiously every day. You have goals you want to reach. You're not going to do it if you're not doing those things. So sorry, I went off on a little tangent there, but it's little pockets throughout the day. If I'm good on my data, I do a little bit during the workday, but our school doesn't have Wi-Fi. They stopped Wi-Fi this year, so I have to use data. So I get a little short on that each month. But if I do have data on my lunch breaks, I'm on Instagram.
Love it. And it's refreshing to hear too, because so many people that are featured on corporate calls, like the National Wake Up Calls or in the Beachbody Champions page, eventually quit their full-time job. So we hear their story now, but it's refreshing to hear someone that's still in the trenches, still working, that might not be sending 250 invites a day or a week. But that 10 a day is working for you, and but you also do put in the work. You do work a little bit in the morning and at night. You do prioritize the weekends to work your business. It's not just throwing it up in there and seeing what happens. You're intentional with what you're doing. So
yes. And there's certain tasks that are better for the morning, the checking in, all the easy tasks, really, checking into your challenge group, personal development, recognition, adding new people, all those are things you can do quick in the morning. I can be listening to personal development while I'm checking into my challenge groups. I can be listening to personal development while I'm walking a dog or while I'm adding new people on Instagram. So then at nighttime, all you're left with really is take a video of your workout, your shake and your workout are a no-brainer. And then at nighttime, all you're really left with is your invites and your follow-ups. So if I left all of those to do at one time, it would be a lot, after coming home, I think, after a full work day. So breaking them up like that works for me. And I love getting up in the morning. It's peaceful. So I like to knock some things out then. But.
I love it. Some days I wake up until 8 or at 8 and I'm just like, oh my gosh, Mallory has been up for hours. Gotten so much more done than me.
I've been off since Thursday and my body just like wakes up at that time now. Like I wake up at 5:30 without an alarm. Like we were walking the dog at 6:30 this morning and we said, what has happened to us?
You're going to be so productive in the summer.
Early 30s and we were walking the dog at 6:30 like an 80-year-old couple.
That's awesome. All right, guys, any questions for Mallory? Or any tips that are working for you guys? No.
I hope one or some of those tips you find helpful.
They were awesome. I mean,
helps you to hit Success Club 6. Why is that so difficult to say? Success Club. Like SC. I hope you hit SC this month.
Yes.
Because those leads have been super helpful for my business.
Love it. Cool. Thank you so much, Mallory, for sharing all of your tips and all you girls for hopping on. I'll post a recording tomorrow morning so you guys can send it to anybody that you think would benefit from it. But thank you so much. Great job, Mallory, and have a good night, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.